Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here on USB Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast, where I cover varsity high school sports for Grantsville High School, Tooele High School, and Stansbury High School. Shifting our focus to basketball as that time has arrived. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the show. Please head over and like the Instagram page, follow it. That's where I put all the stats and updates and all the graphics to recognize these players. And be sure to get out there and support these local athletes. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. I had a blast covering the football seasons for Tooele, Stansbury, and Grantsville. It was entertaining. It was exciting. I had a good time with it. I had a great appreciation for those programs and those athletes. It's been super fun, and I'm super excited to be here for basketball. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're transitioning to basketball coverage. I'm super excited. It's going to be a challenge, I went from covering pretty much 3 programs to, in essence, 6. So between boys and girls basketball teams. So I'm going to do my best here. I might mess some things up. There's a lot of kind of stats to kind of look at, and the schedule is much more fast paced because, that's why I'm doing this now, because it's already starting. Tuesday, the 19th, we got our first set of games. So I'm just going to kind of get into it and cover a little bit of everything here. But this is going to be the intro to the basketball season. And I'm super excited to do it. I'm super excited to watch these players develop and the returning players, see how they overcame certain things that maybe they struggled with last year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with Grantsville boys basketball. Now, last season, here's a little bit of their stats. Last season, overall, they were 8-16. In region, they were 3-7, ranking 5th. In the state of Utah, they were ranked 98. They averaged 54.5 points per game, 28.9 rebounds, 9.7 assists, 8.9 steals, 17.3 turnovers per game, and 15.3 fouls per game. Those were some of their average stats over last season. Their field goal percentage last season was 39%. 3-point field goal percentage was 26%, and their free throw percentage was about 38%. So a little bit of room for improvement there, in my opinion, which I'm hopeful to see, and I'm sure I will see. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot to build on, and so that leads, in my opinion, that leads into a lot of excitement coming into the season, because you have the stuff from last year that you did well, and now you have the areas where you can improve on. The Cowboys have a new head coach for their boys varsity basketball team, Stace Riding. He's been a long-time assistant and JV coach for the team, so he's very familiar with the program. And I'm excited to see him. He like I said, he's been a part of the program for many years, and it's exciting to see him take the lead as we transition into this new season. It's a little unfortunate there's been so many inconsistencies in the coaching program, or in the boys varsity program, as far as the coach is concerned, over the last couple of years. And that's nobody's fault internally or intentionally. It's just kind of a victim of circumstance in a way. So I'm super excited to see how he does. I like Stace, man. I really do. One thing I like about him the most, honestly, is that it doesn't matter if you just did a 360 windmill dunk. If you don't get back on defense, you're going to hear about it. And that's one thing that, as an individual who has played basketball, who loves the sport of basketball, and appreciates the fundamental aspect of it. I've coached a fair amount too. Nothing at his level by any means, but those were always things that I tried to drive home to any of the kids that I ever coached. And so I like that about him a lot. Again, like I said, he's extremely familiar with the program, so I think it's a good fit to kind of like transition in, because again, it was unexpected. Just life events. Life is life, and things happen, and these coaches are volunteering their time, but life is life, and you got to continue your journeys, right? And so I think it was a good fit given those circumstances. I am curious to see his offensive vision, though. And I only say that because I know he's big on fundamental defense, right? At least from my perspective, he is. In the offensive game in the years past, I don't know how much of that was influenced by him or if he was just working within that. So I'm excited to see what his vision is of the offense, So I'm looking forward to it and see what it brings to the game. Their first game will be November 19th at home against Granger. So if you're in the area, please head over there, check that game out. Okay, 7 p.m. I believe it was. It's definitely on the graphic. I didn't put it in my notes though to record. Granger is having a little bit of a. You know what? We're just going to talk about it. I made the graphic. I might as well give all the stats, right? So, they'll be playing Granger, who had a record of 3-18 last year, so not very good there. They averaged 53 points a game, 24 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, 16 turnovers. They were 39% from the field, 26% from three-point field goals, and 36% from the line. They also have a new head coach. If Deseret News is accurate on who the coaches are, they also have a new head coach, Jason Chandler. So it's going to be, I think it could be an interesting matchup. You can't really look at those stats and go, kind of get an overall understanding because the coaching is different this year. So it's going to be super interesting. But again, that game will be November 19th, 2024 at home for the Grantsville Cowboys against Granger. As for Grantsville High School girls basketball team, the varsity team their last season, they were an overall 23-3, 10-0 in region, ranking first, 8 in the state of Utah. They averaged 60.2 points per game, 29.2 rebounds, 13.4 assists, 20.8 steals, that's impressive, 13.8 turnovers, 13.7 fouls per game. They had a 42% field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage was sitting at 29%, and their free throws were at 60%. And they are coached by head coach Megan Vera, who's been the head coach since 2013, since the 2013-2014 season, at least per Max Preps, right? She has a win-loss record of 192 wins and 82 losses, totaling to about 70% win in her career as the Grantsville head coach. So she's definitely got it figured out there. She's got a good program. Last year's team had no seniors listed that I recall seeing. So it's safe to assume that the returning team will be the same as last year, making them a serious threat, in my opinion, going into the season, looking to repeat a 20-plus win season, especially considering they have won 20-plus games in the last 6 years. Pretty impressive there. Can't say enough good things about that program. The only thing I'm going to say is that hopefully this is the year where they make it over the edge and win that championship because, they did a great job in the regular season last year, and then they fought hard in the playoffs. They just couldn't make it. I think they took third, if I'm not mistaken, in the state tournament. So congratulations to them on their success last year, and I'm super excited to see what they do moving forward. I've gotten way more exposure to the girls program as a result of what my daughter does. She's getting into the comp league program that they run. So I'm super excited for them. I'm super happy to see that growth, and yeah, I can't say enough good things. So hopefully, like I said, this is the year they can get over that and get the title that they're definitely longing for, I imagine. So they will be playing, let me pull it up here, on Tuesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. at Mountain Crest High School. So they'll be playing Mountain Crest, who had a record last year of 13-12. They were 7-3 in region, ranked 51 in the state. They averaged 45.2 points per game, 32 rebounds, 11 assists, just under 12 assists a game, 10 steals a game. They had 20.2 turnovers, though, so that's problematic. Hopefully they've cleaned that up. They had a field goal percentage of 34. Their three-point field goal percentage was sitting at 23%, and their free throws at 35%. And they are coached by J.C. Carroll, who has a record of 11 wins and 12 losses. So last year, maybe, I think, was her... Maybe I typoed that. I might have typoed that. Might be 13-12. I don't know. But I think last year was that coach's first year. So, first years, in my opinion, first year is always kind of a feeling out process. So, it'll be interesting to see how competitive they are. And they're going up against a very good Grantsville team. So, best of luck to them. And again, that game will be November 19th at 7 p.m. at Mountain Crest High School. Go check that out if you're in the area. Best of luck to you girls. I don't know that I'm going to make that one, but best of luck to you, and can't wait to cover the recap of that. Okay, moving on to Tooele High School. The Tooele High School boys varsity basketball team last season was overall 6-16. Region, they were 3-9, sixth in region. Utah, they ranked 103. Points per game, they averaged about 56 points per game, 26 rebounds per game, 13 assists per game, about 9 steals per game, 16.1 turnovers, 16 fouls a game. Their field goal percentage was sitting at 39%. Their three-point field goal percentage sitting at 28%, and their free throws sitting at about 40%. So definitely, again, some room for improvement there. Their head coach is, to the best of my knowledge, according to Deseret News and things that I've heard internally, is Justin Pullman. Now, this is his first year as head coach for Tooele. But however, I am familiar with him a little bit, as he was the coach for my son's team, I think his sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken. One thing I liked about Coach Pullman is that he wants the players to shine. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's biased about who that is. If you've got the ambition for it, he wants you to shine, and he's okay with giving you opportunities to do that. And I think that was a little bit unique at the time that he at least coached for Grantsville. And it's not that I feel like other coaches didn't want people to shine, right? I just, to call a spade, it seemed like there was people that were given the okay and people that weren't, right? And I think that in the case of Coach Pullman, he didn't exactly follow that philosophy. So he was okay with it. And that's one of the things that I definitely liked about him. And at least that was my impression of it, from seeing it as from where I was at that time in life, right? So I think from a mentality perspective, he's going to be a terrific fit for this team coming off a losing season, especially. I expect there will be a shift in the team mentality, which is probably needed, So I'm not super familiar with his play sets and designs, so it'll be interesting to see what he does there. But either way, I'm looking forward to covering this team because of the connection, especially. He still talks to my son. In my opinion, he's an all-around good dude. I know he's had some explosive moments because he's a very passionate person, and I'm not going to say that he was right or wrong. Just definitely not. He definitely didn't present it in the appropriate way, and I'm sure he's learned from that and how to adjust that. And I know it comes from a good place because, like I said, every interaction I've had with the guy, he was a pretty good dude. So their first game will be November 20th, so Wednesday, November 20th, at Tooele High School against Ben Lomond. I'm going to try to catch that game for sure because, like I said, I'm happy for him to get the spot that he got, and I'm excited to see what he does with it. And yeah, I don't know, I can't wait. So again, they'll be playing Ben Lomond, whose record last season was 5-19. They were 0-10 in Region 6th. In the state of Utah, they ranked 114th. They had averaged 57 points per game, 25 rebounds, 14 assists, just under 9 steals per game, 16.5 turnovers per game. And their field goal percentage was 43%, their three-point field goals 27%, and their free throws 37%. And they are coached by head coach Tanaka Beard. 32 wins, 84 losses is what was listed for them. That one was a little tricky because they had 2 coaches listed, so I don't know if they're what they're doing there. So if that information is wrong, I do apologize, but it's kind of a little confusing to look at. So, but again, best of luck to Tooele there. I am going to try to catch that game. I'm super excited for it. So it's going to be fun. Good luck to those guys. As for the Tooele High School girls varsity team, the Lady Buffs, if they're still called that, last season they were an overall 10-12 on the season, 5-7 in region, putting them in 4th place with a Utah ranking of 110. Their points per game average was 42.5 points, 33 rebounds, 9 assists per game, 11, just under 12 steals per game. Turnovers, though, they averaged 21 per game. That's not good. Fouls per game, 15, and then their field goal percentage was sitting at 28%. Three-point field goal percentage equally at 28%, and their free throws at 31%. They are coached by head coach Julie Bonner, who has a record of 14 wins and 27 losses. Now, this will be my first year covering, the Lady Buffs, like I said, assuming they're still called that. But one of the key takeaways right now is turnovers for sure per game and free throws in regards to last year. So, Coach Julie Bonner comes into, I believe it's her third season with a little bit of a lopsided record. However, they've improved each season. So after winning only 4 games their first season, they more than doubled that last year with 10 wins. So if this is any indication of a positive trend, I hope to see similar progress for them moving into the season. Can't wait to cover it. Can't wait to see some of the stats. Their first game will be also on the 20th, Wednesday, November 20th at Granger, 7 p.m. It's at Granger. I don't know why I'm second guessing that. Granger High School, who had a record last season of 1-19, so not very good for them. They were 0-10 in region, 6th overall. They ranked 123rd in the state, and they didn't have any stats listed in terms of season stats. So nothing to really go off there, but clearly it was a struggling season for that team. Tough. And they're coached by head coach Manny Tooele. I don't know. I'm definitely butchering that, most likely. But that coach's record is 5 wins and 38 losses. So hopefully they've found a way to improve on that so they can make it a competitive game, competitive season for them, because last year obviously was not it. Most likely I see the Buffalo's kind of taking that game, but it is a new year. You can't base it off of everything. And so new players, new environment, a lot can change from one season to the next. Again, that game will be Wednesday, November 20th, 7 p.m. at Granger High School. So if you're in the area, go check that out. Good luck to you, Tooele. Can't wait to cover the recap of that. Moving on into the Stansbury Stallions boys varsity basketball. Last season, they had an overall record of 5-18. They were 3-9 in their region, placing 5th with a Utah ranking of 105. They averaged 35.5 points per game, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, just under 4 steals a game, turnovers about 10.7 per game, fouls 10.8 per game. Their field goal percentage was 45%. Their 3-point field goal percentage was 26%, and their free throws was 38%. They're coached by head coach Peyton Dastrup. Apologies for butchering that if I did. I believe he's going into his second year. So his record is 5 wins and 18 losses. So again, I don't think the first year is the best thing to judge anybody off of. I think it's a filling out process, and you got to get your system in place, right? And that takes a little bit of time. So looking to see them bounce back for sure. But right out the gate, my pet peeve of free throw stands out. This is an area I think needs to be addressed immediately. You can't give up easy points when you're a struggling team offensively. That's just how I feel. I've historically just said things like hashtag free throws matter, because I think it's very important. And if there's one thing that really kind of has drove me crazy from watching high school basketball over the last couple of years is the amount of missed opportunities at the free throw line. I think I'm probably being a little bit biased. It was probably the same thing back when in my time, but for whatever reason I don't feel that it was. I guess that's just the age old tell, right? Back in my day, but that part of it, I think if they can improve on that, they're gonna put themselves in better positions to at least be more competitive in games. So hopefully that's an area that they improve on. It will be interesting to see the adjustments made. It looks like last year. It looks like last year was his first year, like I said, and I think looking at this program thus far, the first year is, all these programs thus far, the first year is truly a filling out process, and I really do believe that for players and staff. So I'm hopeful to see I'm hopeful that there will be positive adjustments made moving into the season. So again, they will have their first game on, I believe it's Friday, November 22nd. At 7 p.m. at Hunter High School. They'll be going against Hunter, who had a record of 9-14 last year. They were 5-7 in region, placing them in 5th. They had a Utah ranking of 90. Points per game, they averaged 61 points per game, 28.7 rebounds, 9.7 assists, 7.3 steals, 10.8 turnovers. They were 40% from the field. 3-point field goal percentage was sitting at 29%, and their free throw percentage sitting at 42%. And they are coached by head coach KJ NG. He had 15 wins that coach had 15 wins and 31 losses last year. So pretty evenly matched according to last year's stats. So it'll be interesting to see the developments made. So best of luck to you, Stansbury. Hope to cover a winning spread when we hit that up. So good luck to you again at Hunter High School, 7 p.m. on the 22nd. If you're there, go check it out. As for the Stansbury Stallions girls varsity team, last season they were overall 4-18 on the season. Region, they were 4-8, ranked number 5. In the state of Utah, they were ranked 113. Points per game, they averaged 36.6 points per game, 29.7 rebounds per game. That's amazing. 6.5 assists per game, 7 steals per game. However, they did have 20.8 average turnovers per game, 16.2 fouls per game. Their field goal percentage was sitting at 27% from the field, 3-point field goal percentage at 15%, and their free throws at 36%. They are coached by head coach Alex Huxford, going into that coach's third year, I believe, with a record of 13 wins and 32 losses. A positive takeaway is averaging 30 rebounds a game. However, when you're turning the ball over on average 21 times, it's going to be difficult to win games for sure. So I'm interested to see how they grow from last year to this year, and I'm looking forward to covering it. I really am. I don't know. I can't say that enough. I'm excited for the challenge because I know it's going to be a challenge. Their first game will be on the 19th as well at Cedar Valley. So let's pull that graphic up real quick, and they'll be going against the Aviators, who had a record of 12-12 last year, 3-9 in region, 7th in their region. Utah ranking of 59. They averaged 48 points per game, 28.7 rebounds per game. Assists per game were 11. Steals per game, 16.2, 13.3 turnovers. Their field goal percentage was 33%. Their 3-point field goal percentage was 24%, and their free throw percentage was 40%. And their head coach is Kawika Akina. I hope I said that right. I probably did not, but I believe this is that coach's first year, so they have a record of 0-0 right now. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Good luck to them. Good luck to the Stallions girls basketball team. Can't wait to see it. So that should cover all the programs. I think I did a pretty good job there of trying to keep it short. I don't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of nonsense, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to do it. I don't know if all the rosters have been posted. I was kind of looking forward to expanding upon that. But I think for right now it's okay. Just keep it the way that it is, and we'll cover some individual players as they start to show themselves. So super excited for that. Best of luck to all these programs. Obviously, more luck to Grantsville, Tooele, and Stansbury. I do plan on being at the home games as much as possible. I can't wait to see that, man. So I think it's going to be a good time. It's a great environment. If you got nothing to do, get out there. Show your support. It's fun. It's not overly expensive, and it's indoors, so you ain't got to be cold. So the environment's pretty fun. So definitely get out there, support these teams, support these athletes. Let's get the ball rolling on transitioning from football to basketball. I'm looking for everybody to continue to support each other like we have been. It's been amazing. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to continue it. So that is your basketball season preview, I guess, is the best way to kind of summarize that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, or if I missed something or messed something up, please feel free to reach out to me. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I promise you that. No problem whatsoever. So, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see you guys there. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening to USB Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to get over there to Instagram and share this stuff. We also have a Facebook page if you're interested in that side of it. But get out there and share this stuff to support these local athletes. That's what it's all about. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. The podcast is available on Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and probably places I'm not even aware of. So be sure to get out there, like, follow, and share that stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.